Welcome to The Explainer. All right, today we are diving headfirst into a story that poses a really fascinating question about love, especially in our digital age. You know, what happens when your heart is stuck between a perfect, clean theory and a messy, totally flawed reality? Okay, so get this. The book we're exploring today, Satoshi's Bride, has this incredible origin story, and it's a perfect mirror for its own themes, you know? It's all about the collision between human experience and digital systems. And, would you believe it, the book itself, the actual story, had to be rescued from a digital void. It was literally lost in the machine. So the author's journey to get his story back is described as a proof of work. Now, if you're into crypto, you know that term. It's the effort you have to put in to validate something. And here, that concept is applied to the act of writing and remembering. It's so clever because it turns the creation of the book into a theme within the book, right from page 1. So, who's at the heart of all this? Let's talk about our protagonist. Her name is Anna Torres, and let me tell you, her resume, well, it's less of a career path and more like a collection of the weirdest social experiments you can imagine. Yeah, her life has basically been one long series of what the author calls anthropological expeditions. She's just diving into the absolute strangest corners of the modern gig economy. And every single job she takes is like this bizarre case study in human connection, or maybe the lack of it. And just look at this list. I mean, a face feeler, a pet hypnotist. But this isn't just for shock value, right? It's really important. These jobs show us that she's seen every possible human connection, touch, love, even sleep, get turned into a product you can buy. It's kind of the perfect, if not bizarre, training for the huge conflict that's coming her way. Seriously, can you imagine trying to hypnotize a chihuahua that thinks it's some kind of anti-tech revolutionary? Wild. Okay, but her final and honestly most revealing job is something called a digital thanatologist. What does that even mean? Well, she's a professional mourner for decommissioned AIs. She writes eulogies in Python. It's all about ritualizing grief for things that can't feel. It's clean, it's a verifiable transaction. It's the perfect way to process loss without any of the, the messy, unpredictable, gut-wrenching emotions of a real human relationship. So what you're seeing here is a life that's been optimized for maximum efficiency. She treats every emotion like it's a line of code or a transaction. It's so clean, so predictable, completely the opposite of the absolute chaos of a real breakup, right? It's like she's built this perfect, impenetrable firewall around her heart. But of course, as you might guess, that carefully ordered world, it's about to get completely shattered. And it's not by a virus or a hack. It's by what the book calls an analog glitch. A simple, profoundly human mistake. The kind of thing no firewall could ever stop. So what is this glitch? Well, imagine this. She's on a dating app, swiping with this cold, data-driven precision. And then it happens.
Truth emerged, a life decommissioned by systems that surged. A paper-cut guillotine, a mask misunderstood. His fight against tyrants for what's truly good. He sang low and rough, a vow to hold fast. All my life it's a shadow play, no warmth, just code away. I'm a ghost in this machine, living in between.
A physical mistake, it kicks off the central conflict of the entire story. And this choice she's facing, wow, it's so much more than just picking between two guys. It's a choice between two completely different protocols for living. On one hand, you've got Satoshi, not a person, but this distributed network of ideas, a totally abstract, frictionless ideal. And on the other hand, you've got Alberto, a real flesh and blood human anomaly. He's the dirty, real-world vector. Her connection to him isn't through perfect Wi-Fi, but through a freaking hand-drawn QR code she finds on a brick wall. It's perfect theory versus messy physical reality. So, faced with this impossible choice, this messy human problem, what does Anna do? She does the only thing she knows how. She turns her love life into a system. A rigorous, 5-stage research project.
She literally creates an A/B test of the heart to try and figure out, with data, which protocol is better. So, let's look at the first test, assembling IKEA furniture. You know the one. For this, Satoshi represents perfect theoretical knowledge. He projects this absolutely flawless holographic guide. I mean, perfect instructions, but he's just information. He can't actually turn the key. He can't interact with the physical world at all. And then there's Alberto. What does he do? He throws the manual away, grabs a butter knife, starts cursing, and just builds the thing. It's wobbly, it's not perfect, but it's done. And this outcome is so fascinating, right? Because it raises the question, was the goal a perfect process or a finished product? This really sets the stage for the rest of her, let's call it an experiment.
Okay, but it doesn't stop there. Let's peel back another layer, because Anna's choice isn't just about her love life. Nope. It turns out to have much, much bigger stakes, and it all has to do with this really strange group that she's a part of. So it turns out she's secretly a member of this, well, it's basically a fringe cult called the Loom Breakers. And their whole deal, they practice what they call applied inconvenience. They believe that modern convenience is, and I quote, a spiritual poison. For them, true value only comes from difficult, inconvenient effort. Sound familiar? It's that proof of work idea again, but applied to everything in life. And this is where her personal dilemma just absolutely explodes. When the Loom Breakers find out about her connection to Alberto, this very real, very human connection, they declare her a heretic. They see romantic love itself as a, get this, a centralized vulnerability. So suddenly her private choice becomes this huge philosophical war. So let's just recap where we are. We have a cult hunting her down. We have two completely different protocols for life vying for her heart. Anna is facing a choice now that is so much bigger than just who to date. You know, the results from her little A/B test, they're in. She has the data. But the choice she has to make isn't about data anymore, is it? It's about what kind of world she wants to live in, what kind of person she wants to be. Will she choose the frictionless, abstract utopia, or the harder path, a commitment to the real world with all of its beautiful, messy, wonderful injustices? And that brings us to the ultimate question. In a battle between a perfect theory and a flawed reality, which protocol for the heart actually wins? The book leaves you to really chew on that one. It's a brilliant story about systems, about what it means to be human, and about the beautifully inconvenient nature of love. To find out which protocol she chooses, well, you're just gonna have to read it for yourself.
But Alberto just shares this messy, deeply personal story about a pet cactus he once had named Walter that he lost. He even wrote this beautiful, heartbreaking song about it. And, okay, here's where the line between the story and real life just completely evaporates. It's a real gut punch. The author has confirmed that the character of Alberto is based on him. And then Interpol, yes, Interpol, really did confiscate his pet cactus, Walter, when he was wrongfully arrested. You can't make this stuff up. It's just life bleeding directly into art.
And the story of the cactus is not a joke. Actually, yeah, they did took my cactus when they seized my apartment.
Sang of revolution, defiance in his tone. Bella chow chow chow, for freedom never alone. My life is not